Yo, Vinci get it done. You know what we do? Fuck you got your hand out, nigga. I ain't cuffing niggas, no. Fuck you got your hand out, nigga. Real bitch, she about the dough. Yo, we don't fuck with broke niggas. Nah, we don't fuck with broke niggas. Nah, we don't fuck with broke niggas. Coming at me with your hand out that I'm not a palm reader, no. Bankroll mafia, we thuggin' with it. If you ain't talking Elijah, nigga, we ain't fucking with it. Pussy Chanel, ass candy painted. Pussy price going up, we on the elevator. To my deluxe apartment like the Jefferson. If you make it to my crib, nigga, you in heaven then. Come up for the ice, stacks of
What's up, everybody? It's DJ Rainbow, Power 105.1. Mr. I'm just having fun with this, and this is the Powers Industry, home of new music and entertainment. And we got the beautiful Lia Givenchy in the building, Brooklyn zone. Also, today we're doing an extra special. Since you're here, we're gonna have some extra help with us. We got Ryan. Introduce yourself. Ahmed.
It's your boy Ahmed, man. What he said, you know where I'm at? Harlem do with that Brooklyn bounce.
But now we're gonna talk about you, Lia. What's up with you? How you doing? Where you from? Like, let's talk to you.
Thank you guys for having me. I got a dope setup here.
It's nothing. It's regular.
Well, Brooklyn. Came here a few years ago. I'm originally from Guyana, so.
Say Brooklyn. What part of Brooklyn? It's important.
Flatbush, Brooklyn.
You know,
New York Avenue.
Brooklyn people are very, about what part of Brooklyn.
Flatbush, Brooklyn.
Okay,
New York
so-
Avenue, Foster Farragut.
So now all of Flatbush and that whole area is
Yes.
embraced with you. Now you're repping them. So they want you to win. You got a whole
Yes.
team.
Oh man.
And you
love
said you
it.
Guyanese?
Yeah,
So
actually,
that
my
means
mom.
you a just now chick, huh?
Listen, you know what? I try to balance both because my mom is from Guyana, my dad is from Brazil, so I kind of grew up both countries and then came here.
Nice.
So
That
just a
explains
little
it.
bit.
I get it now.
I'm like, what do you get?
Well, I'm right now. I'm
Understand
repping
that.
Brooklyn.
She said Brazilian, and that's how the other name comes in.
Oh.
Big Booty Beethoven comes from the Brazilian side also. I get it now.
I
It all
knew he
makes
was gonna
sense.
go there with you.
It comes together now.
Out there.
Man, listen,
Listen.
I'm going to ask before he gets into his question. Is that all you?
Yes.
She paid for it. It gotta be hers.
You know, right? Receipt is there, right?
We
No,
got
she means
throwbacks.
it's all hers.
I get that all the time. I was telling my PR the other day, I want to lose some weight because I'm tired of being asked.
Hold on.
Listen,
Wait.
because you get asked that all the time, and I'm like, okay, I gotta keep bringing up high school pictures from back
Yeah,
then. Like,
but I think
listen.
even if you lost the weight, you shapely, so it's a great thing. It's not.
Yeah, but I
going-
wouldn't be asked that question like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, it's normal. Like nowadays, it's a normal thing, so that's why it's even
Yeah.
for you to be so comfortable to even answer us. You know what I mean? Because it's just so
I'm
normal.
also an advocate of whatever makes you comfortable and whatever
Absolutely.
makes you feel good about yourself. Go ahead and do it. It's nobody else's, situation.
Right, I do hear the accent a little bit. Okay,
Yeah.
girl.
So let's stop talking about your booty. Let's talk about the music. So talk to us. What you got going on? Let the people know what you've done, where you at, like
Oh
what you
man,
working on.
that's a lot.
That's a lot. That's what you're here. You're here to be
That's
Let
interviewed.
me see. Okay,
So we started in high school, elementary school. You're here. You music in school, like families from music background, like
Well, my uncle. Let me go back a little bit.
Mhm.
When I was 12 years old, I went to Brazil. But before that, I used to live in Guyana, and my uncle lived in the States, and he had a DJ coalition called Silver Tracks.
SoundCloud. So what do they call it? Sound Clash.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they used to come back to Guyana, and all the music, everything, all the dub plates and all that used to come back. So I basically grew up in a musical household. And you would think being, from South America, really, you would be into the samba and stuff like that. But the hip hop was what I was more engulfed in. Because, my mother was on the Lauryn Hills and the,
Nice.
Mary J. Blige was her girl. So,
Queen.
all of that, yeah. So I grew up on those type of American sounding music. For today, present, I came here actually in 2006.
Oh, okay.
Settled in Flatbush, Brooklyn, loved it, was very diverse with the music once again. But then it gave me an opportunity to meet up with the Red Cafes, because Red family is actually Guyanese. And that's how I really got into doing what I'm doing. Shout out to Keith, Bullet, R.I.P. Bullet, all of them. And I just kind of took it from there, being, behind the scenes and stuff like that. Seeing how they moving, how they doing, being in the studio with them, stuff like that.
So who really inspired you in the hip hop world? Like wanting you to be like, you know what, I want to rap, not follow, like the island trend or anything that you could have did.
To be honest, Missy Elliott. I'm gonna keep it 100. Missy, I remember one day, it was a Sunday, and it was a big thing back in Brazil. Every Sunday they play the American music videos and stuff like that.
Oh, cool.
And Missy had just dropped I Can't Stand the Rain. You know, it's my window. And that video was playing like 2-3 times an hour on the TV. So, and everybody was, you know, with that. And I found a love for hip hop at that moment.
Right.
And then when Eve came out and Lia came out, like it just kind of like started getting more and more.
That's dope. That's dope.
So, I mean, so your favorite hip hop song, your favorite of all time.
Oh my God.
You can only pick one.
If I had to pick one that I would keep on repeat over and over, it'll have to be Ludacris and Trina and Missy 1 Minute Man, the remix. Oh my God, that video, that record.
That record gets played at every
Oh
party.
my
It's
God.
always a winner.
It's like that and what's his name? That I can't remember the record. I was playing it the other day. There was an old Southern record. Back that ass up. Oh my God. Juvenile. That record. No matter.
Those two records just never get old. They
Yeah,
get played
It
at
don't
every
matter
party.
where you are. Those two records you play, those two, it's over.
That's how me as a DJ, that's how I started party. They play the Juvenile record, they go into the dance floor, they're gonna do what they do. It's like,
Right.
You gotta worry too much. Stuff over there, got it.
Yep.
We kicked it the other night. We was at a spot, we kicked it. And you were like, yo, can't nobody really out here touch me.
Yeah.
You feel like nobody out here? Like, I'm gonna jump right in and ask.
Let me. You know why? Let me break
I
it
want
down.
you to be clear, like,
Let
yo,
me be clear with that.
You know what I mean?
You have artists. You have an artist that might be dope, spitting bars, but they can't make music. You might have an artist that can make music, but they can't freestyle. You might have an artist that can do both, but they can't write for nobody. You know what I mean? Like they can engulf them, you know, their own thoughts for their own pen, but to do it for somebody else, they can't do that. I first fell in love with music from the writing perspective of it, and not writing for myself, writing for other male artists. So I came from doing that, and for me, I don't go into a booth and say, let me freestyle something to do a record. If I have to do a record, I gotta construct every single bar to make you think like, oh, did she just say that?
Right.
You know what I mean? And as well read as I am, and because I'm not from the States, I don't have just that New York sound. I have a universal sound. Like I could go down south, which I love going, Louisiana, Texas, any one of those places, and do a record with one of those artists down there and sound like I'm from there.
Right.
Because of that universal appeal. So when I say nobody can touch me with that, that's what I mean. Like I could go make a record right now and I just drop bars. And a lot of artists or freestylers can freestyle. I'm sure there's a lot of females that can freestyle better than me, or male artists that can freestyle, but can you make a record? Can you make something that people want to dance to? Can you make something that you'd want to buy? Can your record pull an emotion out of somebody, make you want to cry, fight, whatever? You know, people don't know how to do that. So
That's a complete record.
yeah. When it hits you, yeah. So that's what I mean.
Gotcha.
So asking that, being that you brought that you can freestyle, you most likely do the whole shebang yourself, which is very unlikely because usually sometimes, no, I'm being honest, sometimes in the game, we have some female rappers that come in, they either get little people to write for them here and there, or, you know, it's hard to make songs, but they can battle. Are you ever interested in battling or getting in the ring? If they were
Battling, no.
Okay.
But I know at some point my career is going really well right now, and at some point I'm going to get too busy to be sitting there writing stuff myself. So I am open to eventually somebody writing something for me or send me a song like what you think. I don't care. You know what I mean? As long as it's a dope record and I could, you know, feel what it's saying, I'm good with it. But battling, no. I don't give that.
Gotta ask.
So when you say writing for you, you mean like you'll allow somebody to write around for you?
Yeah, I would allow somebody to write a verse for me. I don't have a problem with
A
that.
hit record's a hit record.
A hit
no matter
record is a hit
where it comes
record.
from.
Right. But at the same time, I'm not going to go say word for word. I'm going to want to put my feel on it.
Right.
It's never happened. Let's make it clear. Not one time ever in life. But I'm not opposed to it, though. Because you think Beyonce sitting there penning all that stuff? Or Rihanna sitting there penning all that? It's not
They got
happening.
an army of people.
But see, that's the difference. See, to be honest with you, when it comes to R&B, what I've noticed is that R&B, it's never been an issue where R&B artists write for another R&B artist.
Right.
Hip hop, but I'm a '90s baby, so
Right.
that was never something that was put out there.
Okay.
Like dudes.
But it was
writing for
happening
other
though,
dudes.
because Mace
You know what
said
I
the
mean?
other day on
Like,
the interview, Mace wrote a lot.
no,
of
but
stuff.
they did, but it wasn't public. It wasn't like it was
okay.
cool. Like nowadays, it just seems like it's cool.
Yeah.
Like yo, he wrote my rhyme and it's okay. Like I come from that time where it's not. Like
Couldn't
you know
do
what I
that.
mean?
Couldn't do
Like you'll
that.
never catch Nas, Big, Jay talking about yo, he wrote my rhyme. But see,
Right,
that was you know.
But they had ghostwriters, and that's the thing. A lot of, and as a, I'm gonna tell you from a writing perspective also. As a writer, when you write for people, your pen game have signatures. Like if you listen to certain artists that Nas wrote for, you could know. That Mace wrote for, you could know. Missy wrote for, you could know because you know that style. Yes, some of the things, some of the metaphors and terminologies is a signature to a particular writer.
I agree.
So you can know.
And some people separate from camps whenever that person ain't involved. All of a sudden, that person's style is totally different. They don't have that same product that they used to put out. I agree.
Right.
I agree.
And you're a DJ, so you constantly.
Yeah, you know, I pay attention.
You can know.
So, being that I'm a DJ, what's the music like right now? What do you have? Are you pushing any projects?
Actually, yeah, my year started off really dope. In January, I dropped the Lia Givenchy project, which is my first mixtape I put out, which did pretty well. I was able to do a nice tour down south, Louisiana, Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston, Lake Charles. Like, it was really dope out there. I dropped my single Palm Reader also, and that was moving pretty well.
Palm Reader, that's interesting.
That was moving pretty well. And recently, on the 2nd, I released my my last single, Dragging It, and that was pretty dope. We had to commemorate the moment. We actually had a billboard in Times Square.
Wow.
42nd Street, on the top of the Ripley building.
Yeah.
Oh my God, the museum. That was so live.
So yo, you touched on Dragging It, right?
Yeah.
And I listened to the joint. We all did. You know.
Okay.
I like 2 parts on it. I mean, I like the song, but there's, you know, when something jumps at you.
Right.
So let me ask you, before I even ask you the question, like, what exactly made you create that record? And that record is not one that record is like, yo, I'm coming for you type deal. So there's nothing hee about that record. So where did you exactly, like, what was the drive? What inspired you?
I feel like I'm one of the most underrated independent artists in the game right now. Very underrated. I guess because, number one, I think I'm not from the States, so the relationships that some of the artists would have with a particular hood, I really don't have. So I find like I have to work harder to get that. And I feel like...
But you claim Brooklyn, though.
Well, now, because trust me, everybody on Flatbush knows who I am now. But still, within the music industry, I didn't grow up, right.
You didn't have a head start of like relationships from elementary school to high school.
Right. Like, case in point, I did Fresher's video the other day. He got a new record called The Radio, and he reached out and I went and I did the video with him, and he shot it in his hood. And I swear to God, I'm standing there, you're in the moment or whatever, and people that knew him since he was like 2 years old was standing in the corner. You know what I mean? Cheering him up with their phone because they're just admiring the man he became. And like, okay, this person's grandmother was friends with this person back then. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't have that, but now the relationship that I formulated in Flatbush now is because I'm the first generation for my family in the States. So now, I have that relationship with them, but there's no extensive length. But to answer your question, it's like, I feel like a lot of the times people take me for granted because they look at this and they think it's just, a pretty thing. And we all have situations where people dragged it before. Ex want to come in your life, friends that don't believe you, they show you the fake love like they do, but okay, never saw you repost none of my stuff. But when I have a show with a particular big artist on it, you want to ask me if I can get you passes, stuff like that. Now you're dragging that. Like, go over there with your fake love.
That's that gospel.
Now I hear you, but the record talks like I'm coming. Like I don't know if you. It sounds like you speak like you telling chicks like, yo, man.
Yes,
you talking to someone particular. You take it or a couple of people particular.
It's everybody.
Like there's a line in there.
And
excuse me if I don't quote it correctly, but there's a line in there that says that I got when you pretty much came to the door. You know what I mean, bitch, you lucky I rang cause you lucky I rang cause I normally don't knock.
Yeah.
Right. So is there a particular artist?
It's a metaphor to say I'm not sneaking in the game. I'm kicking the door down.
Okay.
By 2018, some of you gonna know who Lia Givenchy is. We're not jumping out the window, next year is my year. We're making sure that the steps that we take and the stuff that we put in place, you're going to know who I am. whether it comes to movies that I'm filming, whether it comes to, you know, cable shows that I'm on, tour that I'm about to start to do, there's going to be things that you're going to have to pay attention, and then it's going to be the Cardi B effect. Oh shoot, we slept on her. And what happened? You know what I mean? So it's like I'm kicking the door down now.
Now, since you brought up Cardi B, that was my thing I wanted to know, because I've seen like a lot of different female rappers giving their pointers or things. Some are very happy for her, some aren't. A lot of them feel like she really didn't work for it to be at that top.
Okay.
And I wanted to know your perspective as being a female in the rap game. How do you feel about her success now?
I love it. I told somebody the other day and they kind of try to argue me, but this is my point I made. I love what she did for female rap because, let's be honest, for the past 10 years, this one person has been pushing. But you can't blame that one person for pushing because she did what she had to do to be marketable enough that somebody wanted to be behind her. She did what she had to do to make sure them records was coming out, make sure she crossed over, make sure she collaborated with the right people to do what she had to do, so you can't be mad at that. Now, as a female artist coming out back then, if you didn't have what it takes for somebody to feel like they want to invest in you, then unfortunately, it is what it is. Now, name one female artist that's been on top without a crew. Every female artist that's been out it's a male-dominated industry. And if you're not getting that male cosign from a particular popping crew, it's not happening. So if you weren't dope enough for any particular crew, let's say GS9 or somebody, to co-sign you and help you go there, it's next to impossible. So Cardi came out and she played the card right. Number one, people don't understand that she was popular before Love and Hip Hop. She had that following before that. So when she put music out, her fans already was in love with who she was as a person. So her social media was already popping, so they fell in love with that, and then Love and Hip Hop just had the world now see who she is. It's just a new audience, and now the world love who she is. How can you be mad at that? You can't.
Some people they're really torn apart.
Why you salty? Like no.
Why is so mad?
No, and not only that, she made it okay. Like I was telling a friend of mine, Bodak Yellow. I did Bodak Yellow 4 years ago. Meaning a record. I got records in my arsenal that sound like that. But 4 years ago, nobody was looking for a pretty chick to sound that gritty. So they weren't doing that. Cardi broke that barrier and made it okay now for a girl to look like a doll and still be gritty like that. So now you see a whole plethora of other females coming out and doing that. You gotta respect that. Like, how can you hate on that?
Is there any other female artists that you? I mean, we talked about Cardi B, but is there anybody? Because there's a couple other people coming up in the game. Is there anybody you interested in working with?
I love Cash Doll. I love Cash Doll. Oh my God, I love her. Nia Lee, she's one of the most slept on female artists out here. I really love her. I love her music.
She spits for real.
And she spits for real. Treaty Nati from New Orleans. Dope artist. Treaty been out for a long time, but you know, the politics and the game of it, right? So there's a lot of female artists that I don't, and that's why I try my best to not have no beef or stuff like that with female artists, because there's only like 5 of us. What we beefing for? It's not even enough to be a category. Like, what we doing? Like, come on now.
So what's the relationship status like?
Oh Lord.
Because you know the dudes is out there, they asking.
We ain't got time for that right now. I'm married to this music stuff.
You married to the music?
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to date, and the more my music coming, the more the bigger it gets. It's harder to date because the pool gets smaller. And now you're like, okay, why you really here? You know what I mean? You start thinking, and because you're a female rapper, they think every female rapper, it has that stereotype that you're sleeping with everybody or you're doing this and you're doing that. And I'm like, does every male rapper sing about trapping be trapping for real?
I don't know.
Do they be shooting niggas for real? But you believe when I say I'm sucking 10 dicks, you believe that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So simple as it gets.
Yeah, I really. I've never entertained those kind of questions.
I'm the only one like, yeah, you're right. They both like, anybody else heard that?
Yeah, that's why she's sitting in the middle.
It's a rhyme.
It's okay.
It's rap. You know what I mean?
It's paying a movie. I get it.
Yeah.
Oh man, but I just love where New York hip hop and the music is now though. Like for a long time, you know, the South been running it. And we couldn't do nothing because the artists keep trying to sound like the ones down south, and I'm like, they love New York because of what we look and sound like. They admire everything about New York.
Yes.
When you go down south and try to sound like you from down there, they're not buying it. They're not biting that.
Yeah.
You know.
It's artificial. It doesn't seem
Some
right.
down south artists hate New York though. They just like at one point New York didn't want to open their ear to South, so when South people came in with Ludacris and all that
Right.
shit, and they caught their light.
Right. Right.
They let the New York people in. Like Atlanta, you go to Atlanta, you wouldn't hear New York records for a while. Then
Right.
you know, then it kind of like okay, cool, all right, we all made it. But
Right.
there was a time they wasn't really beefing New York.
When I go
artists.
to Houston, it's so crazy when I go down there. And funny thing is, I would say 40% of my fan base is out there. Is in Houston, between Houston and Louisiana. And when you out there, the love that they have, and I'm not, of course, not on the Cardi B level, but when you go out there,
They give you love.
the love that you get
Yes.
just for being from New York, your accent, they're fascinated by it. Your dress and everything is just, you know, amazing to them. So, and they really appreciate music. For my mixtape, we had 4,800 physical copies of my mixtape. I went down there in February for the Super Bowl. I got to perform with Paul Wall, Kiki, Thugger, everybody.
That's crazy.
My mixtape was gone. Every single $5 a piece was gone. Shout out to the Robin A. She was moving there. Miss V from Hush Radio, 97 The Box. They were moving it. Like, it was gone. I'm like, they really still buy me? They do. I saw Slim Thug pulled up, popped his trunk, and he had maybe like about, that's like 10,000 tapes there. Gone. They still buy, you know, hard. They still love it. And I guess that's why the Southern artists, they don't need to go on the radio to be popping.
No.
They
You don't need that
Their grassroots movement is crazy.
Right. And once you have that, you know, they
Yeah.
walk around feeling like they're good anyway.
Yeah.
That's the point of
Yeah.
looking for a radio to accept you, and you look good in your hood and your area.
And that's the sad
you
part
get love.
about. Yeah, that's the sad part
And they
about
getting
this
money.
game.
Yes.
Selling their
But now you
records.
don't need radio to be at that same point. A
Well,
lot
it
of artists
depends
know that.
because if okay, let me go back to Slim Thug. Slim Thug did what he did in the early 2000s, and he's legendary in Houston. When was the last time you heard one of his records on the radio? But that man is richer than a lot of New York artists that is popping on the radio, because the ground roots, you know, the grassroots movement for him is crazy. They merchandise move. He could print 1,000 T-shirts and go to a club and it'll go. You know what I mean? In New York, you can't even get your friends.
They won't
No.
take your free
You can't even
t-shirt.
get a free repost.
They talk about, I want the free
You
t-shirt.
can't even get to post you on your Instagram.
Right.
You're like, dang, you know what? You know what? You just gonna pass me by.
Southern hospitality, I guess.
Yes, it's
Love.
Totally
different.
different.
It's
Totally
different.
different.
And once you dope, they embrace you.
Yeah.
And once you respect and you show homage to the Southern arts, like I did Zero, I did one of his records, and they reached out. I was like, what?
Dope.
Just to be like, yo, that's Trill, you know, a New York artist, put your her little spin on something. It was crazy. And once you show the respect, the love is
The
there.
love is there.
Yeah, we had OG Lia up, and I remember she was talking about how she did something, and Trina jumped on her joint, and Trina
Yes,
hit her back.
Thick, a record
personally.
called Thick. Oh my
Thick
God.
joint,
Yes,
you know what I mean?
It's
my
dope.
song.
And I remember that.
Video.
And I was
Mhm.
like, wow. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? So, I mean, it is about showing love. Unfortunately, what I realized with New York is that you have to leave New York, blow up outside New York,
Yeah.
and then come back. And that's the sad part.
I'm gonna give you a
Wow.
quick story. There's a particular DJ, supposed to be a friend of mine. We talk on the phone all the time. They going through anything, they call me all the time. And I asked them one day, like, how come you don't play my record? He asked me he said he never heard nobody play my record. So recently he went to a show, and the Fleet DJs, which is a big coalition,
Yeah.
one of the head guys from the Fleet DJs, he already had my records pushing through the South from here all the way down there. So it's crazy that he's sitting there doing an interview, and the head of the Fleet DJ is playing my mixtapes while his interview is going on. The record is playing in the background.
I know in his mind, he's like,
He could like, what? I'm like, you might not play, but if you're my friend, you're not supposed to ask me who's playing my record. You're supposed to play it, because when you're going through your stuff, my phone ring.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, can we show love? Because then at the end of the day, you're going to want to be the one that break it. And you're going to want to have the Cardi B effect where it's going to be like, oh, that's my sis. Oh. But when she was asking me how to play her records, you wasn't doing it.
it happens a lot. It usually takes someone else to believe in you, for everybody else to fall in line.
And like he just said, the South or anywhere else.
Yeah.
To jump on your stuff and then New York adapts it. It's like, why? Why we can't go back to being the trendsetters? When we used to be the trendsetters.
And that was the 90s.
That was the 90s, right?
Everybody was happy to break records, do things, help each other, hop on this track. It wasn't anything.
I had a friend of mine from he just became I think the head A&R for 300, the Southern division, and me and him was arguing, and I wanted to curse him out so bad because he's talking about the South running stuff, you know what I mean, and really cocky with it, and I can't,
You can't rebuttal.
I can't rebuttal it, and I'm like,
say nothing.
because I'm thinking he's trying to get me to fly him out here to do some runs, radio runs and all, and I'm like, but you still trying to come to New York though.
Yeah.
But that's all I have. Like, okay, but you still trying to come out here. But he was kind of right when he said the South is running stuff. I'm like, listen, we coming. Don't worry, we gonna get it back.
Every day. Don't get us wrong though. We all love New York. We love where we're from.
Of course,
You know.
not trading.
No, but I mean,
We're just working on it.
it's just the truth. Because even when you look at
Yeah.
who else had to leave? 50.
Yeah.
Born and bred in New
A lot of
York,
artists had to leave,
Queens.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
He had to go get Eminem to pick him up
Oh man.
to bring him back here. You know
But
what I
it
mean?
ain't have to be like that though. It don't have to. It don't have. But then again, I'm not gonna just blame the radio or the DJs.
No.
They got artists
It's
also
artists too. Yeah.
that don't invest in their brand.
Don't hustle
They
enough.
don't hustle hard enough. They
I
don't
always
put the
say
right
that.
people around them to say, nah, that's not the record fan.
or build the relationships with the radio people and all that.
That's right.
Right. They don't do that. So they expect, okay, I'm going to go in the booth, spit this trash, and then give a DJ, and the DJ is going to just run with it.
Right.
And that's not how it works, because the DJ got to make sure the record that you're giving him falls in line with what he got with his lineup.
Right.
He got to make sure, even the promoter got to make sure if they put you on a flyer, you could bring at least 20 people to the club. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And unless you got that relationship with people and really investing in brand,
People
it's
like
not
you.
happening. And people like you, it's not happening.
And I'm so
That's
glad you
very
said
true.
that, because I tell all these unsigned artists, especially even them, like they don't understand that component. Like you need to be a brand, you know what I mean? You need to be a whole movement. They just
Yeah.
think you go in the booth, you spit, you do what you gotta do. Nobody's paying you to do nothing that you can't. If it don't make dollars, it don't make sense,
Don't make sense,
on
right.
anybody's level.
True.
So why I'm gonna put you on, like what is it you actually gonna bring to the table? You know? And that's what a lot of these young up and coming artists, they always complaining how dudes just whack, the radio playing the same thing and all that.
Right.
But you know what? Hard work beat talent every day.
Absolutely.
All the time.
All the time.
All the time. Because at the end of the day, you might think mumble rap ain't moving, but if a mumble rapper could bring 400 people to the club, guess who's getting that booking? You know what I mean?
That's right.
Guess who's getting that booking?
I've done that with rappers that are now, platinum artists that in the beginning they were just humble, they want to run around, they were like, yo, we'll show up, 20 people, we're gonna pop bottles and we'll come to your party support, and they've done it.
Right.
They did a run with me, then they got signed, picked up, and gone. And I'm like, wow. It
Right.
just took off. Like,
Right.
hard work, like you said, just outdo it, does
You
everything.
gotta beat the
And
pavement.
your presence has to be felt strong everywhere, because
Yep.
people see that. People see that everywhere he goes, it's just love. And people
Right.
follow that, you know what I mean?
Right.
And
Right. Yep.
It's a business. man, but-
Well, let's get back to the project. Your project.
Man, the
Things that you
project,
just dropped, and
oh,
what's
dragging
going
it,
on
it's
with-
moving really dope.
'cause the year ain't over yet,
And-
so you still got a lot to do right
It's
now.
only 3 weeks it's been out too. It's
Yeah.
moving. I just got a call from Brazil that it's actually doing really, really well out there. So
Congrats on
I'm
it.
excited. we working on the video, but a lot of moving parts for the video too. So a lot
Now
happening.
let me just say this, because this is no shot at anyone. But one thing I like about your movement is I could be wrong because I don't know, you didn't have to slide on any poles in
Oh,
order
no.
to do your thing. And I'm not taking shots at Cardi or OG Nolly, like that was their life, that's where they did their thing, but they're very serious about their music. But it seems like that's what the trend is, so we got a lot of people that are out there, female artists, they come in from that lane, and I guess that lane kind of, you build so much of a strong fan base that you can take, so it makes sense business-wise, you say, all right, listen, if I could do this music, I already got this fan base following me. Your approach, you don't have that. You got the body, you got the look, you got all of that, but you didn't come from that world. So it's beautiful to see females coming from different angles now.
Right.
And it's not just a trend that the only way you're gonna have a
get that.
following is if you come from this, and you know what I mean.
It's kind of crazy that I think the labels have a lot to do with that, because no longer are they looking for talent. Once again, not to shoot at no one, but they're not looking for talent. They're looking at numbers on Instagram.
They're looking for an investment.
An
If we could partner up, you got to follow on, let's
Right.
get your money.
Right, but at the end of the day, what happens, okay, most of these things are one-hit wonders. Tell me one person or a group from 4 years ago that's still popping today
Yeah.
that came off of that.
Yeah.
So they're not even caring about investing in
Right.
artist development or none of that. It's like, okay, you better come already with this whole following. But they're not following you for your music. They're following you because you shake your ass. So are they really going to go out and buy them tickets?
Well, in fairness too, to the labels, I do understand the component of not dealing so much with artist development. Remember, a lot of A&Rs, that was their job, to go out there, find new talent,
right.
and say this development. A lot of artists didn't make it. So at the end of the day, you spend a lot of time, a lot of money on an artist, and then you're the A&R, now you lost your job. Because you picked these 3 or 4 artists, the label spent this time, and now there's nothing to show for it because they can't take it to that next level. So again, from a business perspective, I understand. Now here comes an artist who may not be as talented, but has, again, that hard work beat, and they got that drive. They'll come in a party. I'll give you an example of what I'm talking about, and I don't want to name these 2 dudes. There were 2 guys coming up in the game, and I remember one dude, he was spitting, doing his thing. When he walks in a party, about 400 people walking in with him. They're popping bottles. They got T-shirts, all that. You got another dude who has features with everybody on the planet. But when he comes through Mob Deep with that group that doesn't spend any kind of money. That all they do is be rowdy, looking for this. So if I'm a label, I'm saying to myself, here go the women, the chicks, the bottles, and here go this dude with all of these dudes that ain't gonna buy no music. And I gotta go this direction. So it's kind of funny, and again, I laid the scenario out. So if you recognize hip hop, you'll kind of put it together. I don't wanna, because I like these dudes, so I don't wanna put them at odds in, and I don't wanna buy. But you know, there's so many scenarios like that where artists are like that, and it's sad that they don't get that. You gotta build. I'm not gonna rock with you. I'm a Harlem dude, like I said, with a Brooklyn belt. So for me, at the end of the day, man, nobody's gonna hand you a package you can't move.
Nope.
I don't care what hood you from.
Yeah, true.
It's just not gonna happen.
But as a female, I always wanted to be seen as that barrier breaker where, once again, I don't have to shake my ass. I don't have to do it. I if I care to, I can. You know, but I don't have to, and I want other females that's coming up, whether you're black, Hispanic, whatever you are, you don't have to just feel like that's the only way you can go. But at the same time, if you're going to go my route, prepare to work hard. Prepare to be stomping in them clubs, prepare to be, you know, running down on DJs and doing all that, because it's not going to be easy, especially in this climate. But this is not just one way, it's not just that blueprint way.
What's next for 2018? Any goals you want to hit? Anything you're trying to do? Movies, TV?
We working.
Deal? Are you signed to any labels or anything? Or any production deals?
Right now we're in negotiation with Universal on production situation. Or actually distribution.
Any producers you use on the
producers, Travis Crates, Fast Life, DJ Direct. Those are people that I've been working with lately. For next year, there's a lot. There's so much. Right now, I've been filming with VTV. We just wrapped up. There's a show called Hustle and Soul. It comes on right before Growing Up Hip Hop. It's based on the Pink Teacup restaurant franchise. So that's in the bag. We got some other TV shows that we're working on that we can't speak on. We can't speak on. We got shout out to my Northeast fleet. That's the NASCAR team that I'm going to be the face of. My manager, Melissa LeBron, she put that together. We have a 40 city tour with the NASCAR team that's going to be rolling out in February. So we're going to be doing that.
Are you rolling with a black team?
Yeah.
It's a black owned.
It's a black owned operating team. Yeah.
Talk to us about that.
Okay. Well, Melissa LeBron, which is my manager, she's one of the first African Americans to own a NASCAR team. And she have a Division I team. She also has, the motorbikes, all the different division of NASCAR. And she also have Kucha Music, which is a label that we get distribution through Universal. So I'm going to be the face of Kucha Music and of Northeast, the team. So, she also have... at all the stops, we're gonna have entertainment, of course, halftime and stuff. So yours truly will be performing at all of the tracks and stuff like that. So there's a lot happening. Yep. And shout out to our new market and promotion team. They're like going ahead at least a month in front of us to make sure that every city that we step into, the music was already playing on the radio. There's already campaigns going on, for both the music, us and the NASCAR team. So there's a lot happening.
That's great.
Wow.
That's great. That's great.
That's why I said me? Bikes, yeah.
What?
Yes.
I could just did
Rough Riders right here.
Their light just went up. Ding, ding. I just felt the bolt.
You Usually at the end of the interview, like, you want to rap this? I was just like, how will we get on the mic right now?
The Suzuki 550 is my stuff. I like
That's
that.
what's up.
I used to be on it. My brother had one. I lost a couple of friends on them, but I ride.
Video stunt right here.
Stunting right now.
Here we go.
But not a part of stunt gang though. But yeah, that's why I said earlier, I feel like I'm kicking the door down when it comes to 2018. It's just gonna be, she's everywhere. You gotta know who she is.
So let me ask you, man, because before we go, you talked real heavy about bars in here, so I kind of want to know, and I know the team definitely want to know. Especially if you want to get played with him. You gotta have bars, because he's the man right there. But you gonna give us something before we get out of here?
Yeah, a little freestyle.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what's up.
Right.
So we gonna go to the booth right now, man. We don't need no more talking. That's what we doing right now.
Nigga, the truth. Every time I step in the booth, I speak the truth. Y'all know what I'm bringing to you. I bring the truth. Motherfuckers know who I be. I be the truth. When I speak, set you free. Nigga, the truth. Nigga, the truth.
Well, I met what he said. You know where I'm at. You know what it is. I am here with the sexy and talented. I mean, look at this. This is crazy right here, man. I don't even understand, man. She probably don't have to spit nothing. But you know what? We're going to get into them bars, man. We're going to see if she really got it. She talking this Brooklyn stuff, so we're going to see. Let's go.
Shut it down.
Yeah. It's what Brooklyn sound like. Let's get it. Yo, there's a lot of closed doors in this female rap game, but I keep my legs closed and Mrs. Pac-Man swallowing nothing, show still be packing, cause I really spit that heat like a fucking Mac 10. I know I'm bad, but why you got your dick in your hand? I'm really about the chicken play, I think you missing the plan, flexing like you the man, nigga I'm in demand. I'm really about that long money, from here to Japan, think I can't win it all because I lack balls, about to prove you fucking wrong, nigga jack off, put some respect on my name, nigga hats off. Make a stale face when you see my black wall. Y'all don't know this, I see through these funny dudes. Snitch on they mans, these niggas make funny moves. Niggas ain't loyal, CB got it fucking twisted. Ask Kim, she did the bid cause they balls missing. You bitches, new bitches, just know I school bitches. Clip your wing, fuck your career, make you a stool pitching. Got your bad burden in hand, whole crew missing. Moms looking up to the heavens, wondering who did it. Yo, broke hoes swear they know me. Incognito, Givenchy keep it low key. Couldn't fuck with the hand the life dealt me. Had to throw it back but never fulfilled my own dream. So I got on my grind, build up my bottom line. And now I'm flexing different cities, London, Dubai. See house to house as a kid, I used to wonder why. Now house to house making bids, bitch I've arrived, yo.
Yo, you see how it went down right now? She lit the booth up crazy, Lia Givenchy. Yo, you see it right there? The booth is crazy. She shut it down. Can you do me a favor? Can you give everybody your Instagram, your social media, where to find you, where to get your music, where they can see you, like, you know?
I'm everywhere right now. Google me. No, I'm just kidding. But you can get me on all my social media. It's the same handle, at Lia Givenchy. That's LIAGIVENCHY. Or you could go to IamLiaGivenchy.com. That's my website. You can find music, products, everything there. News, my schedule, everything coming out, everything Lia Givenchy.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So you know what I need you to do too?
Yes.
I think for 2018 I need to put you on that Powers Industry stage, man.
Ooh.
Let's see what you got. I'm not talking about that other stage now. I'm talking about the grit and the grind, man. Where they really come from. Ask your boy Fresher, he comes from there. Let's go.